Hello, this is Meghnad and you're watching Sansad Watch, where we tell you what the leaders you elected are doing for you. If you're watching this episode, it's not on YouTube. As of recording this, our channel has been suspended. That's because dear old India Today group and Aaj Tak have done 50 plus copyright strikes and claims on our channel. So YouTube has decided to freeze it. The strikes happened because we showed instances of their journalism in nuisance and tippani. You know, stuff like this.
आज तक की एक अदाकारा एंकर हैं अंजना ओम कश्यप। उनके साथ अमेरिका में जो कुछ हुआ वह एक दुःस्वप्न सरीखी फिल्मी कहानी है, इसलिए हमने उसे एक फिल्म के रूप में ही आपके सामने लाने का फैसला किया।
एक लड़की थी दीवानी सी, जिससे भी मिलती दिन भर सबसे पूछा करती थी।
और नरेंद्र मोदी के आने से किस किस को सबसे ज्यादा खुशी है? आप कैसे देखती हैं पीएम मोदी को? एक्साइटमेंट क्या है पीएम मोदी के विजिट?
हम तो आए भाई, हमारे को बुलाया गया है कि आइए सपोर्ट करो।
The best part about the coverage was, of course, the antics news channels came up with to present election analysis. Rahul Kanwal of India Today decided to play chess.
That's the Congress JDS challenge on this chessboard, to be able to ward off the Reddy brothers. You know, if you were to use a chess metaphor, who would they be? They'd be knights or rooks, bishops, who'd they be?
So yeah, we showed all of this to the world, critiqued it, and someone high up in this giant mega corporation, which has more brands and channels than the number of News Laundry employees, decided that it's time to shut our channel down. It's not hard to do this, by the way. The YouTube channel dashboard automatically shows the owner where all their clips have been used on the platform, and they can take a call on whether to take an action on it. It takes about 10 seconds to do it. 10 seconds and a whole spoonful of vindictiveness. Why did Aaj Tak do this and were they correct to do it? Before we get into that, let's talk about the law and try to figure out answers for 3 questions. What is copyright? What amounts to copyright violation? And does copyright apply to news? First up, what is copyright? Copyright is a right given by law to creators of things in order to protect their intellectual property. You see, when people create things like music, movies, poetry, art, or Sanjay Dhritarashtra Samvad, they use their creativity. Meaning they bring something into this world which is unique and did not exist before. So the idea behind copyright is to ensure certain minimum safeguards of the rights of authors over their creations, all with the intention to protect and reward creativity. I mean, think about it. Say I paint a self-portrait and take it to the gallery to sell it. But to my surprise, there are 3 other people who have put up exact replicas of my painting, but are selling it for cheap. I mean, I have a lot of fans, but I don't appreciate them stealing my content. If it keeps happening, after a point I'll say, yeah, screw it. Being an artist is not worth it. It's all bullshit and I will never do a painting ever again. So, to prevent songwriters, artists and generally creative people from going hungry, the concept of copyright was brought in. Creativity is a basic indicator for progress in a society. So, it is important to incentivize people in order to create and invent new things. It is important to give them a right which protects their creation and gives the right to copy only to the creator. In India, this right flows from the Copyright Act of 1957. So, having copyright over a piece of work means that the author can reproduce it, communicate it to the public, adapt it, and translate it. But nobody else can do the same. All of this is not that simple though, because sometimes there are people who use original work in different ways for different purposes. To illustrate how weird things can get in the world of copyright law, let me tell you a funny little story involving these two, Yash Raj Films and India TV. There were 2 suits filed by Yash Raj against India TV. In the first one, Yash Raj accused India TV of using the lyrics of Kajra Re in an advertisement. They literally used 3 seconds of the song in the background playing on a radio. In the second case, Yash Raj slapped a claim that Vasundhara Das sang 9 stanzas of her song during a talk show on the channel. These were songs from Yash Raj movies, so they claimed these are copyright violations. The court said that all of this is de minimis non curat lex. It's a legal term which I probably mispronounced. It means a trivial violation. The logic they gave is that singing birthday songs at a birthday party are violations of copyright that take place every day. And if each of such action is charged, then the court will be left dealing with a crazy number of cases. So both of these were not copyright violations by India TV. And just like this case, a lot of copyright law is totally dependent on the interpretation of the court. Which brings us to the second question. What amounts to a copyright violation? Basically, copyright in a work is considered infringed only if a substantial part is made use of without authorization. But what is substantial varies from case to case. It's not exactly a quantity thing, it's more of a quality thing. For instance, if a lyricist copies a very catchy phrase from another lyricist's song, there is likely to be an infringement even if that phrase is very short. Let alone lyrics, people even fight for catchphrases, like this one.
Nation wants to know.
You see, Arnab Goswami had a very popular show on Times Now called The News Hour. After he quit and started Republic TV, he filed trademark applications for these three things. Nation wants to know, Arnab Goswami News Hour, and Goswami News Hour Sunday. He claimed proprietary rights. Bennett Coleman was like, nope, that's ours, and initiated legal proceedings against Goswami. The court ruled in this case and said that Goswami can't use News Hour, but he can use Nation Wants to Know. Because while News Hour is a brand, Nation Wants to Know is a phrase that can be used during normal conversations, so it cannot be subject to copyright. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? Anyway, as I said, the law is applied on a case-to-case basis. And one of the things that defendants use to counter is Section 52 of the Copyright Act, which explicitly states some exceptions. These are called fair use clauses. The law says the copyright won't be violated if the work is used 1. For the purpose of research or private study, 2. For criticism or review, 3. For reporting current events, 4. In connection with judicial proceeding, 5. Performance by an amateur club or society if the performance is given to a non-paying audience, and 6. The making of sound recordings of literary, dramatic or musical works under certain conditions. Look at the second one again. Copyright infringement will not happen when a work is used for criticism or review. And guess what? That is precisely what we at News Laundry do. News Laundry. Sabki dhulai karega re tera bhaijal. The thing is, Aaj Tak has sent us all these strikes and claims because we use clips from their broadcast. They are making the argument that we are copying stuff from them and using it on our channel, so it's a violation. But, and there is a big but here, all of the clips that we use in our shows are not standalone ones. We don't claim they are ours, plus we do proper criticism and review of the kind of news reporting TV channels are doing. That, my friends, counts as fair use. In our shows, we end up parodying a lot of journalism we see on TV. A parody refers to a work which humorously and critically comments on an existing work in order to expose the flaws of the example, stuff like this.
टोडी बनेगा? टोडी बनने आया तू यहाँ पे?
बन सकता है एंकर? बन सकता है! चने बेच चने!
Technically, MTV can also file a case against us for copyright infringement, but they'll lose because this is a parody. Times Now, on the other hand, decided to send a casual 100 crore defamation notice to us for this one. One of the many misused laws which are used to shut down critics. There is really no end to this. Anyways, when a parody is done, it is important for the parodist to reference the original work. Otherwise, it would make zero sense. So, by its very nature, a parody borrows from the original work and is totally dependent on it. That is also covered under fair use. Which brings us to our final question. Does copyright apply to news? Well, technically it doesn't. Reporting on current events is an exception too under fair use. But the lines kind of blur because news can also become content. So there is a copyright over the way in which the news is reported. Like Shweta Singh going deep sea diving to find a mythical city. This is not news, but this is content. And if we lift this clip and just use it to give an impression that we in News Laundry did this, then it's a violation of copyright and of our own dignity. However, if Manisha latadofy Shweta and Aaj Tak for doing this, makes fun of them and criticizes them, then that is not a violation. Get the difference? It's confusing, I know, but here's a handy little test that our honorable courts have given to figure out whether a work violates copyright. They take into consideration, number 1, the quantum and value of the matter taken in relation to the comments or criticism, number 2, the purpose for which it is taken, and number 3, the likelihood of competition between the two works. The third point is very important here, because if a piece of work is used by the creator to earn money, and if someone else copies it and takes the business away from them, then that is a blatant violation of the copyright law. That is precisely the reason why the copyright law exists. In our case, we did not do that. We don't even take YouTube ads or any sort of advertisement. So using these clips has no monetary incentive for us. Now, Aaj Tak might argue, look, these people are making fun of us, so they are taking our viewers away. But guess what, Aaj Tak? Research has found that it might actually be the opposite. Plot twist. A research conducted in the year 2013 in the University of Bournemouth under the lead researcher Dr. Chris Erickson found that amateur parody videos on YouTube can lead to increased views and popularity for the original instead of harming their market. I mean, seriously. If anything, we might be bringing traffic to you. अब बताओ, हम भी तो वो पागल हैं जो आपके वीडियोस चलाते हैं और आपको रेलेवेंस देते रहते हैं. In fact, Aaj Tak has made several copyright claims on our old videos. Now, YouTube will show ads on them and Aaj Tak will earn money from the views on our videos. It's ridiculous, but that is how the world works now, my friends. A multi-crore media behemoth rides on the backs of small organizations like us who do parodies to educate people about what news should be like. We all live in a bloody unfair world. Oh, wait. Aditya, did Navika copyright that word?
No.
Good. It's a bloody unfair world. That's what it is. That's all I have for you in this week's Sansad Watch. Remember, if you want to make Parliament great again, you need to watch it first. And thanks to Aaj Tak, you might not be able to watch us on YouTube, but hey, we are available on all these places too. Binge away. Thank you so much for watching this episode, guys, wherever you're watching it. Please share this link with people. Our YouTube was literally getting us most of the traffic and now it has been cut off. So please make sure that videos that we are doing reach the maximum number of people. Our regular shows, Tippani, Nuisance and Sansad Watch are available on our website. So go check them out there. We are also on our Facebook page and also on Instagram. So you can share those as well.
The subscription model is something that keeps News Laundry afloat, but we need hundreds and thousands of people to completely transform the news ecosystem. So you pay for news, so it serves you. So click on the link with this video, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free और गर्व से कहो मेरे खर्च पर आज़ाद है खबरें.